we couldn't do without him at the Free Market Foundation. Eustace.
Thank you, Yanda. What I'm going to talk about is how to reduce the cost of what Khaya Lam is doing. And I'll go beyond that. We have a potential 5 million properties in the country. Now that's an estimate. I used that figure in an article I wrote, and fact test. They challenged it. They phoned me and said, "Where do you get your figures from?" So I said, "Well, it's an estimate. And if you can find a better figure, let me know. I'd like to know how many properties there are, because government has no idea." The EFF tell us that people like Maria and David should not have title deeds to their property. They should not own their property. They say nobody should own property. Are they really going to take the property, the title deeds away, take the property of Maria and David, and for it to be owned by government? That is what they're saying. They're saying they can take everybody's property if they get into power. Well, I hope the sensible people of this country make sure that they don't. The Khaya Lam project benefits the poorest families in the country. These 5 million homes we're talking about, they are not lavish homes. They're small. You saw some of them shown to you by Timber. And what we haven't heard yet is that the people like Maria, you heard her say she came back, she had to come back home. She had to secure that property. She had to live in it. If she didn't do that, it could be taken away and given to somebody else. That's the kind of life that people have lived under, and it's 78 years of that kind of life Black South Africans have been living under. The change has been dramatic. From living under those conditions under the 1913 Land Act and having it removed, the people's lives changed. What we do in reducing, what we want to do in reducing the titling cost, what we do is to partner with municipalities and the officials. The cooperation, as Perry has told you about, is excellent. We are non-partisan. It doesn't matter which political party is in power. We work with any political party. And so that doesn't enter into the equation as far as Khaya Lam is concerned. But we need high volume to reduce costs, because, say, in Ngwati, which is our pilot project, because there's a large number of properties being transferred by a conveyancer, the conveyancer can reduce the price. So it's an important factor. The average cost, the cost difference, for a house, say, with a value of 100,000 Rand, the transfer cost, if one of those people, if, say, Maria had gone to a conveyancer and said, please, transfer this property into my name, it would have cost, the real cost would be about 6,000 Rand. What Khaya Lam does, the total figure is 2,250 Rand per title deed, which includes all the administration costs, all the costs of we have somebody who's embedded in Ngwati in the municipality. Yvonne's sitting over there doing a fantastic job of signing up people. Now, we can't do that everywhere, but in Nguati, we've done it. It works extremely well. The upgrading of Land Tenure Rights Act, introduced in 1991, actually gave ownership to all people living in houses of that nature, the existing township houses. And what went wrong? They were never told. They didn't know. Maria's family didn't know that they actually owned the house they were living in. Nobody told them. It's when Khaya Lam came along and said, this house actually belongs to you. All you need now is a title deed, and we will help you get it. And that's what Khaya Lam is busy doing. Having a staff member like Yvonne is something that we have not been able to do in other municipalities. There we rely on the municipality to actually sign up the people. But it is much more efficient when you have somebody who's embedded in the municipality doing it. I've been on a discovery mission. And I discovered this thing. It's a form DDD, and it's a deed of transfer. And I've been in discussion with the deeds office in Pretoria to find out exactly what we can do with this form. And it's amazing. What happens is that a municipal official can complete and sign a DDD form in front of a conveyancer. There are no transfer duties or power of attorney required. To lodge this form, completed form, with the Registrar of Deeds costs 35 Rand. In American terms, $2. And if everything is in order, the Registrar of Deeds signs the form, lodges the original, and gives a copy to the new owner of this property. Now, this gives an amazing opportunity to people across the country, in every municipality, to go about transferring properties to everyone in the country who lives in a house that falls under the, what is called Ultra, the Land Acts, that piece of legislation. Now, Khaya Lam is showing the way. Other organizations sorry. Yeah, I've got it. What other people can do across this country, right across the country. You know, we talk about 5 million houses being available. Have you heard government say anything about these 5 million houses, that they are available to transfer into the hands of the people living in them? Not a word. Why is that? Why this accent on farmland? What for? When in 1994, South Africa became a democracy. What happened? Black South Africans were freed. They were free to move. They came to the cities because that's urbanization took place. So there's a mass transfer of people. What do average black South Africans want? From what I find by talking to them, they want to live in the city. They don't want to live out in the sticks. So what this is about, I don't know. Here is the solution. Give people their title deeds. And it will transform this country. And this form DDD can be used to do the transfer. If organizations in towns and cities across the country, if they want information, they can come to Khaya Lam. And Khaya Lam, Perry has become an expert when municipalities have a problem with some kind of property. For instance, a property where the borderlines were all in the wrong place, and there was a lot of trouble in the homes because of this. Perry got funding to redraw the borders, to cancel the previous title deeds, give them new title deeds with their borders all in the right place. End of problems. That's the kind of thing that he has had to solve. And this form DDD can be used throughout the country, and what we would like to see, Khaya Lam doesn't want to do all 5 million properties. What we would like to see is groups of people across the country getting together in their, say, their towns, forming a committee, raising the funds, and getting the title deeds registered, using the form DDD where applicable. The next thing we're going to do is to go to the Surveyor General. Every township that is registered with Deeds Office has an SG number on it saying what kind of transfer has to take place. And I think our next stop, as far as Khaya Lam is concerned, is to go to the Surveyor General, and if it is at all possible, to have all these properties, make it possible for this DDD form to be used in every town and city, and so that the transfers can be done at 35 Rand a pop. Maybe a little bit extra because you have to have a conveyancer involved. But all they have to do is to sign off on the accuracy of the information given to them by the municipal official. And I think if everybody puts the shoulder to the wheel and does the transfer of these properties as rapidly as possible across the whole country, we can forget about this nonsense of expropriation without compensation.
Thank you very much to Eustace. I'll take one question.